right, we'll go ahead and get our study session started. First discussion we're going to have this morning is the donation of lots 1 and 3, block 15 Harrington, located in southwest corner north of B Street. I believe this was left over from the tax sale.
The tax sale from quite a number of years ago. The county has been responsible for it since, I want to say, at least 10 years, probably.
We're going to donate it to their land bank, correct?
That has been the request. So I had received an email from the former city manager there in Harrington asking about this lot, and I should have, let me pull it out.
Isn't the last tax sale?
No. It's been county owned for, I'm going to say it's been county owned for 10 years, probably, Lynn.
So has that been on an inventory then, Janelle?
Yes, if you will, but not on our inventory that you take a look at, because you're just looking at.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do we ever use it for anything?
No, we have to mow it.
But we never ever put it in a tax sale either.
No.
So Janelle, then, since we're doing the maintenance and upkeep, obviously paying for that, what does that cost?
So Martin has to chemically mow it every year, and it's not cheap. Why am I doing that?
That's a picture of it. I went and looked at it.
You went and looked at it? Yeah.
So, so Martin actually does the work.
Yeah, his staff does, yeah.
We do an in-kind, we don't actually put out cash, but we do it in a certain way, but it's in kind. We do the work
We use our chemicals
in our
to do that. So, yeah. So it's just, we have no use for it. It's inside the city limits, so I'm not sure why we would need anything like that.
Right.
And if you look at it, it's of no use for anybody. So they're just asking that the commission be interested in donating it to their land bank, and then perhaps one of their citizens that owns property by it would purchase it.
Do we have any more of that?
We have been trying to, over the years, map's not coming up, over the years, let's do this and see if I can get this to come up better. We have these odd little pieces of property, little triangles that maybe when the deed was recorded, or the title search was done, it was missed or something. So we've tried to clean those up and take care of that. We don't have a lot of them. We made a concentrated effort to do that years ago. Let me find it here. But this is one that has been, I mean, it's been here for a long time, and it's not, we have no use for it. We can't put anything on it.
No argument there at all, but.
Yeah.
Well, and for historical, not historical reasons, but for future this stuff, properties in any one of the locations, let's say Harrington, Enterprise, wherever, and there's nobody that does anything with it. Shouldn't it just go back to the town instantly instead of coming to the county?
It should. This was an odd one, and honestly, I was not involved with it when this happened, so I'm not sure how we ended up with it, honestly.
Sometimes if they're not able to build on it because of setbacks and other things, or it's landlocked.
It's this right here.
There's a little bit of a discussion going on. We make a little bit of money when we have our tax sale. Plus that sometimes gets people back on the tax rolls. Plus those people that fix it up a little bit sometimes rent it. And so you get, there's some of those properties that people are glad they were able to buy at a tax sale.
Right.
And now the other side of the discussion that I've heard is, why doesn't this county just gift these things to the city and let the cities develop it? Because sometimes people that buy them, they fix them up where they're inhabitable and they can rent them, but they really don't fix them up. And so there's the issue, is it a blight? Do they really fix it up? But now if you give it to the cities, from what I understand, would market them the way they wanted to market them.
Right. But how can the county legally give away property that we do not own? Because if it goes to the tax sale, the county doesn't own it.
Well, I think what it is at some point, yeah, there's, anyway, there, and probably some of that is some legality.
Mhm.
But I know there would be some people that would be disappointed if we didn't have the tax sale because they've actually picked up a few properties and
Right.
done some improvements and such. And then there's some that I guess people buy them and think, why did I buy them? And then they turn around and let the taxes go on them. And but the whole intent is that we utilize properties or see them utilized and get them back on the tax rolls.
Exactly. And that's why,
We would have an income loss if we all of a sudden gave properties to the cities and.
right. We don't have that many pieces of property outside of what we use. This is an odd one
Yeah.
that we have, so. Yeah.
Well, and that's a little bit of a different issue, the auction, I guess, but I mean, it's tying into that discussion because I think, have you had some of that discussion at
Yeah.
all, or you might have some thoughts on it, because they're.
Last time we really had that was when you were still on the board, actually. They hadn't gone much further. So the discussion was taking the tax sale properties and rolling them possibly into a county land bank if we could, and then working with contractors to develop those properties and essentially give them to them if they would actually rebuild a home of a certain value, essentially beautify the lot, make a home on it. I remember, I think that was something we talked about when I first got elected. The cost of it, we'd have to essentially pay for all the tax sale.
We have to buy the property.
We'd have to buy the properties. If the price of doing that, I don't know, is going to be appealing to the taxpayer.
Right, and because you can see the
To
number,
benefit contractors. I don't know if that's what
yeah,
our taxpayers would want us to do.
and you can see the number of properties that we have on the delinquent tax sale too. I mean, that,
It's a good idea in theory. I don't know if practice it works too well, but I haven't heard much more discussion. But with that being said, I do know there's a group in Harrington that is actively building some homes on
Right.
lots down there. So I don't know if this ties into that, if this would go there, but
I think their thought is that the property owner that's next to it may be interested in just expanding their property, that's all, so.
No.
So, and we can, the county commission can legally donate it to the land bank since we do own it. And it'll be up to them if they decide to accept it. I don't know why they wouldn't, since they're the one that made the request, but.
But they could sell it, or they.
Right.
That have control of it.
Right.
But that would eliminate where we don't have to do the annual maintenance.
Correct.
A few
Right.
times a year.
Well, we understand that. Here's where I'm coming from. The last sale we had, tax sale here in the county, properties got sold throughout different communities.
Right.
Those properties are bought, well, reasonable, I mean, bring anything. Now those that bought those properties couldn't afford to do anything with them.
Right.
Small communities are stuck with them.
Mhm.
Now they're wanting to sell them back to people. And one example is, piece of property is bought for pennies. They want $20,000. The community like to clean it up, but it takes around $5,000 to, a little more than that, to demolish the home and have it hauled off.
Mhm.
Now it's $25,000 because the person that bought it for nickels is wanting $20,000 for a lot. You can buy a few acres for that kind of money, you know?
Makes sense.
It's an open market though.
It is, and it's the
And-
property owner's.
Well, it is. I mean,
Yeah, no, I got it, but
Yeah.
we're stuck with homes. that can't do
There's
anything.
flaws in the.
Yeah.
In all of the scenarios.
Yeah. I hear you.
Now, this one is unique that it's a cleared off property
Mhm.
and we already own it, so it would be,
Mhm.
so, I mean, this one, I think, would be, makes sense to let them have that, but I think once the word's out that we donated that to the land bank of Harrington, it might open up some discussion where people are gonna
Mhm.
want to see what other possibilities are there.
Sure.
And it's always good to have discussion.
Mhm. Well, if you're
No,
comfortable,
I'm comfortable with
I
it.
just want to have to answer to the taxpayer saying, hey, you're screaming because you need money, but you give everything away. I mean, what do you tell them, you know?
right,
Well, it's
so
an
are
undeveloped.
you suggesting this should go on the tax sale maybe?
Well, the county doesn't get it. We're
Yeah.
bleeding the county.
at
We're
least
bleeding the taxpayers.
if it's donated to the Harrington Land Bank, they have an opportunity to develop it or have somebody pay taxes on it.
Sure.
We're not collecting.
It's coming back.
But if they sell it, If they
Yes.
sell it to someone, then you'll go back on the tax rolls. And really, that's kind of
Right.
the important thing is see something maintained, possibly upgraded, but also
Mm-hmm.
put it on the tax rolls where it gets paid.
Right. Right.
And the taxes on that lot probably don't amount to.
No. No, I think that Lisa has it appraised at about $4,600 thereabouts, and that might be a little high, or $4,100, and I think that's probably a little high, but I don't know for sure. It's an empty lot that I think it's in the floodplain perhaps too, but so.
Everybody's gonna say.
Well, what I can do is fill out the form, send it to the interim city manager there, and they won't discuss the request until May 5th. And then once, if they approve it, then we have our steps to do the resolution and get it published twice. And then it'll be turned over to them. We'll just do a deed over to them. So,
I'm gonna wait for you to lead on that.
so while we're waiting, unless you want to start talking about the bids on the structural steel on 3100 Avenue,
Is Mark gonna be here for us? Or just gonna be us?
I think it's just gonna be us. He can be here next week if,
If you got something you wanna do in the next 4 minutes. But otherwise, we can do the structural bids.
okay, I was just gonna let you know that we will be, or we are requesting quotes to replace the HVAC system at the health department EMS. That's at least a 20-year-old system. And it needs to have some work done on, Marcus went. So I'll bring bids back to you on that, hopefully in the next couple weeks, so we can get that taken care of. We've been having issues with it. It's ended up costing us more with some of the repairs on that, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that would,
It'll come out of the capital outlay.
oh, I was gonna say, there's
Yep.
no claim. I mean, we're just gonna have to.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, but there's money sitting in the capital outlay fund that would be able to pay for it. The health department has one for their
You
building.
gonna bring that next week then?
If I get the bids back, it'll be next week, otherwise it'll be the week after.
Okay. Bids for structural steel on 566 3100 Avenue.
So you can see the bids that were received. I don't have a date when they're gonna start working on this. They've got several other projects stacked up in front of them that they'll be working on. And then decking and sheeting as well. So you're talking about $38,000, almost $39,000 worth of product that our staff will do.
I did have a question.
Mhm.
They're asking for aluminum decking?
That's what we've always been using.
Aluminum?
Mhm.
We go out with aluminum?
Mhm. I just want to get that in front of you so you could see that and see if you had any questions.
When is somebody gonna be a competition of Levelland? Who's gonna start a company?
There we go. They've been in
Looking,
it forever.
I
That's,
shouldn't say that. They do good.
Well,
Only one we can bid.
yeah,
On
but
some
on
of
some
the-
things we do get bids from others.
Yeah, the decking though.
And actually they're local connection or ties.
so the KCCA conference, I'd spoken to all of you individually. I just want to confirm that we had registered Lynn and then we had booked the hotel room, but Lynn's got a conflict with his schedule. So you're comfortable with me attending in his place? And then Marcus take care of the meeting that day? Or not, either way, it's entirely up to
I don't
you.
know, guys.
Well, I mean, I just made inquiry when it was and hadn't really said I was gonna go, and it was a little bit of a miscommunication, so. But I don't know that we'd have to pay for a day, I guess, if we canceled.
Right.
Feel like we're gonna get some use out of it. I'm fine with it.
You know, you guys have been before, so, and I have as well. Just depends, so.
Oh, but, you know, there's a couple of, every once in a while when you don't know. I mean, sometimes you get something that is very helpful, or you find out what another county's doing, and sometimes it's no more than, some of it's networking, and then also we're a member of the KAC, this is part of the KAC, and so if you support their programs, if you don't, then they fall off. So on that particular one, they move it around. So it's been in Pittsburgh, Kansas before. It's been in Manhattan, which was very convenient for us because we could commute. It's been in Junction City, I believe.
Hayes.
And it's been in Hayes. And so whatever region they have to hold it in, that has a tendency to bring people more from those counties.
I guess what I'm asking is I don't want us to just go just because we
Right.
want to go.
Right.
As long as we're getting a use out of it, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
That
You know,
would be
with-
my only point.
Everything that's going on in Topeka, they'll have some information coming out about that, the connections, things like that. So
KCCA, if anybody doesn't know, is Kansas County Commissioners Association, if anybody's curious. I'll leave it up to you guys. I'm fine with it. If you guys are okay with it. I think she's asking permission.
I'd get to go.
okay,
Marcus will be able to fill in.
Yep.
when you're gone.
you will definitely.
I don't allow that.
But, you know.
I don't allow it.
Who has to sign off?
Raquel has.
Raquel rule. Okay, just to go over, back to the bid here. The low bid for the structural steel was Odin Enterprises, $10,591.14. Wellborn sales on the decking came in at $27,879.50. That delivered to, I assume? Okay. So, just for the public, we're not voting on this today, are we?
No, I don't have it on the agenda. I mean,
Does he need to lock his quotes in, or?
he's told them that the commission will consider it 1 week and then put it on the agenda the next week.
Okay.
So they are aware of it. The vendors are aware of it.
I'm fine with doing it that way.
That gives you time to think about it.
I would say let's add this to agenda next week.
Yep. Okay.
Based on what you said earlier, though, on the decking, I guess would have to go out of state to get another bid or something.
Yes.
Like that. There's
And-
plans.
There's a letter on the attachment from Wellborn on the backside of that there are companies that will not cross state line. So just because of the competition.
Well, and I read that letter and I actually meant to reread it. I mean, some of that I don't know that I'm comfortable with their logic that they use. I mean, I understand.
Well,
Sometimes people have franchises and so that franchise is specific to an area, but it also eliminates competitive bidding. And
I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure Wellborn supplies contract with decking.
Right.
In other words, they are the supplier for contact. So, and this really weird path I went down where I called these people when I first got elected and had a conversation with them. I didn't know if I could, but I did. And that's what they told me. They're like, well, you need to call Wellborn. That's our actual supplier.
Right.
I think there's a one up in Nebraska, but I feel like they told me the same thing too.
Yes. Because
They supply them too.
Well,
I'm not saying there isn't one in the United States. I'm sure there is, but I was, don't quote me for verbatim there, but I thought that's what I figured out.
Plus they don't have rate charges and that stuff. And
Yeah, and that,
the other thing that happens is sometimes the more local someone is or closer and they've got a market share, they are competitive because of their volume of business.
Mhm.
And you may get, maybe not in this instance, but instances where a few others will bid a couple of times. And it's
it might,
expensive to bid.
Mhm.
And if you bid and you never do get anything because you're never the low bid, those people just quit bidding. And I understand that.
I don't know if it's even worth the time trying to find another bid, but it might be. I mean, you're talking 24-foot and 12-foot long deck plating.
Mhm.
A hot shot could run that on a 35-foot trailer. I mean, no problem at all. Probably wouldn't cost you more than $1,500, $2,000 to haul it if it was a long ways away. It might even be less than that, but it'd be a little work, you know what I'm saying, but it might be worth to ease our minds a little bit that there isn't a competitor out there that isn't viable. I don't know, I think that's what we're trying to ask here.
My thing is I some time ago visited when it was Great Plains on their steel. They test their steel and they send it back when it doesn't meet quality.
Right, right.
And that was my only thing, that we got quality
Yes.
steel for the
Yes.
price,
And they
That's
do,
a good
they do that, yes.
you know.
And I agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, Martin is going to have done his due diligence on this, so, but I will have him take a look. Yep, yep.
I'm of your opinion. I tried to shake this down a little bit when I first started because we did a bunch of steel bids when January, February, when I first came on.
Right.
And I kept seeing Wellborn. I'm like, why is Wellborn the only person we can call? So I even personally looked into this a little bit. I do think we're doing the only thing we can do, but I'm trying to. So we'll add this to agenda for April 9th.
Correct.
Okay.
Did you have any other questions about the computerized card set for dispatches on the agenda? But I thought I would ask real quick before Lisa comes in. And she went over it thoroughly last week, but I didn't know if something came up since then.
Nothing on my end.
On the card print for the,
The computerized card set for dispatch.
oh, okay, so you said Lisa, but that's.
Well, no, I wanted to say it before Lisa comes in.
Oh. It was Amber's deal. I didn't listen close enough.
I heard it the same way too.
Sorry.
But yeah, no, we heard from her on this, I think a couple times now, but did you guys have any questions about that? That was their ability to computerize, pull up those codes and be able to.
Probably time to
For
read it.
EMP and
Yeah,
that.
you saw the Rolodex we use right now.
You should keep that Rolodex.
Well, yeah, maybe we could put
Donate it to-
displays up there.
There you go.
You
Yeah.
like the jail.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just
Something like that.
out there. Yeah.
Put it down, yeah.
Is Marcus's award still up there?
No, he decided
My
to break
Needed more
it.
security.
I feel nervous that somebody was gonna walk off with that, so.
I'm sure the clerk's office will find another recipient.
Yes, and we start taking applications.
I was gonna say, they usually think you go in there and
I
everybody had their little sizes, and then all of a sudden there'd be something that'd just be huge.
When
just
I
loaded.
first started
And that
as
was
a
the deal.
salesman, yeah, you had a Rolodex and mine was fancy. It actually turned.
Oh, yeah.
And that was a new one.
$5.
It didn't fall out, no. It was, yeah, it turned. It was real fancy.
Nice.
My dad has one of them old slide the thing. Yeah, that's what Rolodex really means to me. It's that sliding one.
That's
Go
fun.
down to B, click.
Well,
Not that
we had
easy.
kind of a one for phone numbers. It's kind of weird. Same thing. You go to the letter in the alphabet, and then you push the button, and then it would flip it
Flip it open, yeah.
Yeah,
That's on my
that was
dad's,
kind of a big deal.
That's kind of cool. Yeah.
It's like, don't mess with that. That costs a lot of money.
I got fancy. Got a card holder for a Rolodex towards the end.
Ooh.
You're really losing it. Then you have to write it down no more. All right.
Maybe the museum, some museum would want
There you go. Yes.
But my kids don't even know what that word means. All right, Lisa, I see you here. Good morning. Would you like to come on? Go ahead and come on up.
This morning. So good morning. How are you guys all today?
Okay, good.
Good. We just have a few things. March 30th was our last day to appeal values at the informal level. We had 57 informal appeals this year. Most of the appeals have already been heard and decisions have been mailed. Over the past 3 years, we've averaged around 75 appeals. It's just kind of an average with approximately 25% of those resulting in a no change in value. I also want to give credit to my team. They did an amazing job handling hearings this year. We have had 2 newer appraisers, and this was their first year handling hearings, and they did a fantastic job, along with everybody else. I have received our preliminary ratio study results, and I have until May 1st to appeal sales, and I'm still just kind of reviewing potential appeals on that. At this point, real estate values appear to be increasing around 3%. I am still unaware of what the impact on the personal property exemptions from last year, how that will impact this year's for the overall county value. We have started our 2027 parcel maintenance inspection. This year, we have about 2,800 parcels to inspect. We will be working in the far southwest part of the county, as well as some parcels in Harrington, Hope, and Abilene. The plan is to complete Harrington and Hope by the end of April. In February, Bradford and I attended a quality and condition class along with our other real estate appraisers in our office. Bradford and Kate have put together a field book that will be very helpful in creating consistency when collecting data and reviewing properties during maintenance. Bradford's going to explain a little bit on that book.
We create a book. It's important for us to be consistent. You can get 10 appraisers in a room, and every one of them are going to have a different opinion about that property. Might be some slight variations. So having a manual that we put together, we actually put pictures in here as well. I can kind of give you a little bit of a picture of that. You can see we have a manual with pictures that kind of gives us an idea of how to rank property. Rank is important because as you know, there's some houses that are built well and have a lot of excellent quality to them, and some houses that are built pretty cheaply. And so that does affect value. So we have to be able to rank those and do it consistently. We also put together a manual of procedures in the field of how we do our inspections. And those inspections have to follow both USPAP regulations and state guidelines as well, state statutes. So we have procedures in our book for how to do sales inspections, permit inspections, and maintenance inspections. Those are all just a little bit different. And that hopefully will help us in the field. We can refer back to that from time to time, make sure that we're being compliant, consistent.
Very good.
Thank you, sir. In addition to that, we are also making use of resources that are available to us. Ricky is working on a layer map that will allow us to review neighborhoods or smaller areas for consistencies and to identify where we may need to take a closer look. So what Bradford was just telling you about the quality or the rank, he's adding a layer to that so we can just visually see what everything is kind of ranked out of quality, see if there's an outlier that maybe we need to take into consideration. Is that correct? Or what's going on with that parcel? So just kind of some different things there that are kind of cool. Going further from that, so due to some additional requirements from PBD, we will be sending out CRP questionnaires this year. Last year, the state requested that we start tracking our CRP in a events tab. And so what we did get quite a bit of information back, but not a lot of CRP information. So we're going to follow it up this year with another letter, hoping that we'll get a better response. And then as we move forward with those projects, we are also losing a team member to the IT department. Caitlin will be leaving us after May 1st. I have received a couple applications and hope to schedule interviews within the next week or two. And I have also planned on an update possible for new legislation, but I do not have anything really concrete to report. The SCR 1603 has not yet been voted on to my knowledge. House Bill 2745, it has been, and it's awaiting on the governor, so don't know where that stands. And the Senate Bill 329, I believe it passed both House and Senate, but I don't know where it's at from there. That is the bill that would apply to a fee appraisal if it would be going to the regular board and vote on. So
I think that passed.
did it vote?
I think it did pass.
Okay. everything signed off on that one?
I don't know as the governor signed it, but I think it passed both chambers, so.
So the impact that that would have is if we would have, regular board is usually a higher value property, so Russell Stover's or something like that, then the county would be required to have a fee appraisal done if that would go to the regular board on an appeal. So far, we have no board appeals, but just so you know what that would actually look like, so.
And we have had to do that on a couple instances, not very often, but
Grain elevator, I
Right.
think that was probably one that you would have had at regular division.
Right.
And that was back in 2020, I think it was.
20 or
Because
19.
it was happening when I first came into the county, so,
Right.
but
And Russell Stover's was the other one that we had, but
yeah.
Right.
But okay, so do you guys have any questions for us?
Lisa, on your maps for partial searches and things,
Uh-huh.
it shows a map of the property or in any picture, but those border lines aren't actual ones that people need to go by, correct?
No. So
Okay.
our maps are for tax purpose only.
Okay.
And we disclose that. Actually, there's a little check mark you have to make to go into the website itself. But then if we're contacted, we always say these are for tax purpose only. Do not use that as a solid line. If necessary, make sure you go ahead and have a survey.
Okay, yep. And then on your CRP question, could you get a lot of those answered through the Conservation Service? Because,
We no longer have that access as county appraisers.
really,
So back in the day, that was great. We used to just go over, get their files. We could put our information, double check everything. We used to get field maps, everything. We do not receive that information any longer. So it has to be requested from the taxpayer. Most of the time, the taxpayers are very willing to help us. It's just if they get around to sending the questionnaires back, that's
Yeah.
always the hard part.
interesting, okay.
Any other questions?
So when you had some of those appeals that you
Yes.
completed,
Yes.
kind of on an average, how much time does that take? I mean, just the procedure to go through it?
Procedure to go through it. I will be honest and say it depends upon what somebody is appealing. If they're appealing their home, I'm gonna say that probably averages 15 minutes to hold the hearing, but to research it and put everything
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
I would say probably an hour to hour or two, depending upon, I had an appeal on one of our affordable housing complexes. And so I had to sift through the different information that they supplied. So that probably took about 2 to 3 hours on. So just depends upon what they are appealing. Also depends if we need to go out and do a field check. Sometimes we need to do that, especially if there's a question on a shed or measurement or something. So every one of them can vary. The appeals themselves, when we're actually visiting with the taxpayers, we usually allot 15 minutes. Sometimes they go more, sometimes they go less. So we try to be flexible and we want to make sure everybody leaves with a clear understanding of what their questions, hoping that they are answered to their satisfaction.
and a clear understanding of the
Yes.
regulations and why you chose
Yes,
what you chose to be able to do the comparison for. And
yeah. That's the main concern is making sure they have an understanding of it. Because it is a huge process sometimes.
And procedurally, it's part of the process. And so, I mean,
Yes,
maybe you don't think of it, but taxpayers' money, that's one of the services that is provided that is per regulation. I mean, it's not a optional thing for counties
no.
you have your process. But anyway.
So what does this do to school financing?
When we send out their PRC, their property record card and their comparable sales report, we send that out when they have a residential or farm hearing. We also supply a form that is how to read my comp sheet or how to read my comp sheet. So that way it kind of also gives an explanation, like a generic explanation of what they're looking at. I also try to highlight like what we chose and then what was our other options, our other model-driven numbers that we could have used. Sometimes that gives them an understanding of, oh, okay, so they chose this, but these were their other options. And that's what I usually go over and explain. This is what the different approaches are and what those mean. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, you're fine. I got you and Tim, and I'm going to bring up a topic that has been growing concern for constituents in my district. We have some folks up north moving into our county.
Okay.
I'm getting a lot of calls about concern with building codes, permits, taxes. I'm going to ask both of you today, I think you understand where I'm going here. Are we confident that everybody in that area is appraised correctly, zoned correctly, is doing what they're supposed to be doing?
I will speak for the appraised correctly.
Okay.
Back me up, because we've had a lot of times been up there lately. And yes, every property has to be picked up. It is going to be valued on its use, if it's ag, if it's residential, if it's commercial. However, it is going to be assessed by the appropriate class, and it will be valued no matter what. They are not exempt. They are going to pay taxes.
From one residential home to the next, and just give, I know you can't get into details here. I assume square footage of living space. I assume the amount of bedrooms and bathrooms that go into the appraisal value of that home. And does it matter about the utilities of what's going on in that home?
Yes, it does.
Yes.
Yes.
So if it doesn't have water or electricity, does that lower the value?
Yes, it does, because when you think about it, if you build a house that doesn't have electricity, plumbing, or heat and air, if you were to sell that house later on, it would probably cost you double to put that, to retrofit that house, what it would cost to put it in as it's being built. And so, yeah, it does drop the value of the house. And you have to appropriately adjust the value of the house. It could be a brand new house, but it doesn't have all those features.
Would you guys be able to provide maybe an example of that appraisal of a house similar to that, what we're talking about, that wouldn't have plumbing and probably central air conditioning? It might have a heater,
Yeah.
but it probably doesn't have some of the other amenities, for example, a bathroom. Could you maybe give us an example of an appraised value of a house like that? Just, would that be possible, maybe? Not right now, obviously, but at a later time.
Plus, on the other side of that coin, you have people that say, well, I only spent this much money building it, but they had free labor.
Yes.
Well, you still have to value that house based upon what's there, and-
Based on what labor would have
Yeah,
cost.
what value, the market value, we're valuing based upon the market.
Okay.
So,
There is, a property, I'm in the district up here, but I'm pinpointed up on 15, it was a house that had everything to it, a nice little house and everything, and then they bought it, and so I heard they stripped stuff out. So, when they bought it, it was probably appraised at one thing, but now, that's just, I've heard a realtor say, well, I don't ever want to have to sell it again because what they stripped out,
Right.
devalued, but I don't know, maybe that was just a comment, but I was just like, that's kind of befuddling to me.
yeah, it does change the value of the home, and we have to just.
The tax revenue.
Yeah.
Yes.
The issue is, on a normal inspection, we don't get inside the house.
We don't have to
We're
do
not
that,
able to go
yeah.
inside, and so unless the owner lets us know.
Mhm.
I was saying, how many owners are letting you in their house? Probably not a whole lot. So,
Yeah.
let's be honest.
Well, maybe that's a
They
good
had old trailer houses, they told it a bunch of.
And those are valued differently. That would.
And I think what I'm trying to bring up here is I think with the tools that our appraisals office has, I agree with them. I do think we are taxing it to how we are supposed to. I don't know if that's right or wrong. Not going to get into that. We can get into that later, but that's really what I'm wanting to confirm here today. I'm doing them publicly because this is becoming I'm getting get some calls. So
And on the permitting side,
yes, that's my next point was a good attempt here.
But another angle of that, just because they stripped everything out,
Yeah.
if I have a house where there used to be 2 kids in each of their bedrooms and they've left, and I shut the doors, I still have to pay tax, even though it's not utilized as a living space. And so if they do something that changes, maybe devalues it, but
Our job is definitely just to make sure that our information is accurate.
Yeah.
Our system, it does make adjustments for bedroom count, bathroom count.
But if they aren't utilized,
But you could have someone say, I'm using that as an office. Okay, that's great. But it has a closet, it has an egress window,
you know.
and it's originally designed to be a bedroom. We're gonna call it a bedroom.
Because that's what the regulations
Yeah.
provided by PBD state,
Yes.
they have to follow.
But that's my point.
Right.
It's just because they pull,
Mhm.
strip the utilities out of the house, it originally, that was what it was meant to be, and it could be,
Mhm.
even though it isn't, so.
Then you have to wonder what will that do to that resale value though, too. I mean,
Well, but you have,
price.
and I'm gonna give you a similar situation, y'all. There's people that buy houses and destroy them too.
Yes.
And just, so that is up to the property owner.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Correct.
They can do what they want with their property.
Yes.
What we have to ensure as a county government is that everyone is being taxed fairly.
Right.
That's
And
really what I'm,
identified
and identified
properties. So that's a
fairly,
very good point.
and that we're permitted according to the statute and the law. And that's my next question. Are they permitted up there?
Yes, I would say the majority of the people now, I mean, starting out, it was hard to get them to pull permits, but I think now, I think that the word's gotten around. It started coming in to my office for permits. And when I'm not there, obviously Ellen helps them out as well. But there's some that have been pushing back a couple of times, and the code enforcement issues that we've been kind of dealing with, but the majority of that population understands that they have to get permits and they do get permits.
But
How
then,
many,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, how many houses do we have up there actually, or families, dwellings?
We got somebody-
No, I mean, I'm just curious. I mean, I wouldn't want to.
We got another family coming in, so.
Maybe more popular.
I can tell you there's 6 families that I've been working with as far as permits. And these are extended families as well, so they've got, it's hard to tell because it's hard to communicate with them because they don't have, like, I can't talk, call them on,
Yeah.
anything. So I have to rely on, what other people are telling me, kind of hearsay stuff.
Honor system.
But no, I've been working with, in general, about a half dozen families, and these extended family as well.
So Lisa, on homes, the age of the home is a consideration for its value too, right? Not just the square footage.
Correct, absolutely, yes.
But we have a lot of,
Neighborhood.
okay, neighborhood.
Yeah, we have a lot of different adjustments that is taken into
And-
consideration.
For example, I'll address a direct concern that got raised to me. If one family built a home and, I don't know, the next cousin or whatever wanted to move right next door, even though it's the same lot, we're gonna tell them, no, you can't do that. It would be a subdivision. You need to do this.
Right, you would have to, I tell them that you have to split
Okay.
that property
Okay.
with a minimum of 3 acres if they, and, but if they want to go any more than that, if they want to split that any more than that, then they would have to go through a full platted subdivision.
I'm gonna restate what I think I'm hearing. I think from a appraisal standpoint, we are appraising the values of the homes according to statutory limits of how we do that. And we are permitting the homes according to the statutory limits of what we're permitted to do
And our zoning regulation.
in our zoning regulations. So that is, I think, my opinion of where we're at. I'm making the statement publicly so the people that have, and I will reach out to them too, but
I'm just concerned, like, the evaluation, I mean, like, so there's less taxes, because, I mean, you guys need to take me through this, whatever.
They are.
They
But that was what I was trying to make that point. Like, a guy, this, people buy homes out there
Mhm.
and run them down. And it's no different. I don't really want to liken it to that because I don't think they're running their property down. But that can happen. And we're going to evaluate that home less and less every year. It becomes more dilapidated. So if we can't get mad at them. We got to go, so what I'm saying is I think we are doing it fairly. And I don't know if there's much more of an answer than that.
Well, I know that was everybody's question is are they paying taxes?
Yes, they are.
They are.
Yeah.
I shall say they are on the tax.
That's right. And we have our process on the road. If they're not, that's just what our next steps are. I mean,
I think there's going to be, I don't know if growing pains is the right way to say it. Some neighbor pains, getting used to everybody. think things are just changing and people are, and I get that. Trust me, I live in the country too. New guy comes in, everyone knows about it. Everybody's talking about it. Who's this guy? He's doing this to his ditches.
They don't have this in view, and I'm not sure how those neighbors feel about that. You know, the view of, because they're a collection of things, it's all around their.
I'm not trying to sign these two up for work, but I'd encourage you guys to reach out to Tim, reach out to Lisa with these concerns. And come in and check pull the permits. Come in and check the appraisal. I mean, it's all public knowledge.
Being there, just wanting to be safe, because that seems to be a risk.
Now, that's a different topic. We're gonna talk about that at a different time, okay? Not today. I totally get that. I get that.
And I can also say from an appraiser's standpoint of just coming out of hearings, I personally did not have anybody complain about a neighborhood like that. I mean, as far as that's the value in my property. We did not hear that at all through an appeal process at this point. I mean, just, yeah, maybe where, not yet. And that's always true. I mean, we get all kinds of different things. We can have somebody that has, brings in about vehicles.
Honestly, I think a sit down needs to occur. Some neighbors need to sit down and have some talks and go through some stuff.
Set of regulations, and so they didn't know what to
Yep.
expect, or if they were part of the church, right? Well, that's kind of what a lot of people thought, they didn't expect to pay taxes if they move their church around each of their houses. There's all kinds of stuff.
That's the rumor mill. Rumor mill it is.
Yeah.
Keep it where it is. But you guys heard it straight from the department heads' mouths and the public did too. So that was my intention. I get the concern. I'm not trying to discredit it. I'm not. The safety concern is a different topic that unfortunately I don't know.
That needs to be.
Be front with you. I don't know if this room's going to have much say. I'm going to be honest.
So if I may say something, you're talking about your religious use or educational use. So if that were to happen, they would have to apply for an exemption through the Board of Tax Appeals. I would have to supply my documentation if I agreed or disagreed. And so there is no property that can be exempt without going through the Board of Tax Appeals. And so, yes, I mean, so.
So I was going to say that on this school is where you're going.
Yes.
Yeah, because they would have to get a permit from the state
What's
to
that?
operate a school. So if the state permits them,
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to take that CUP and he's going to apply it. If they got the correct permits and the zoning laws approved, they're going to approve it. We're going to approve it.
Yeah, because there is a school there.
As long as they're doing the permits correctly.
They tried, I know they've tried to, I've informed them that they would have to apply for a 501c3 status also, and they didn't want to pay the fee, so they haven't done it, so. But anyway, no, the schools have been operating and they've been, it's been just for that community themselves and not the rest of the.
But they need a state permit for that local community, correct?
My knowledge, not necessarily.
For an exemption, correct? That we're talking about for an exemption.
For tax.
It's just like homeschooling, no different than that.
They're getting taxed because they refuse to get the exemption.
Yeah, they do not have an exemption on their schools, what we're saying.
Right.
Because they are not permitted through the state. So really, it's a homeschool. I mean, I don't, if you want to call it that, community homeschool. I don't know the right term, but
That's probably the closest thing.
How many unit houses are actually up there permit holding?
You're putting me on the spot. I do not know. I will just say that over the past 5 years, I've permitted probably about 20,
Yeah.
25.
So that'd be a minimum.
Crannies, you can't even.
They're across the northern tier.
So it's basically 5 a year.
well, and we know another section got bought, so some, probably more are coming.
It could be in another township. It's in one township now.
Well, they're spread.
Oh, no, they're in a few of them.
There's another.
When it's pretty much
All the way
all
across.
this.
I knew Buckeye had
Right. Right.
was the
I
latest.
think even Flora too, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've been, and I just found out somebody came in just this week and is moving here from Minnesota.
Mhm.
And wanted to start a lumber business or something from, that would be open, and that's gonna go through a CUP. And he's gonna, he's wanting to build. I issued a building permit for a structure for he just wants to store stuff in there until he gets able to come down. And so I issued a permit for that, but he's also paid for a CUP permit. And so our, application, and his representative, which is one of his family members, is gonna be here probably in May or June. I can't remember when I scheduled it, but that's when you guys will probably be hearing too, for that business.
So I heard one of them mention something about nooks and crannies. Are you sure you're getting everything? So one of the resources of which I was just talking about is our GIS. But we also have, it's called Pictometry, Eagle View. They provide updated, it's contracted, but we provide updated aerial photography to the appraiser's office. And so in areas that are of a high volume change area, we can really do a lot of very good review. We also, if it's somewhere we can't get to, we also have the resource of a drone if we would need to. So there is a lot of different avenues that we as county appraisers and just the county as a whole can take into consideration, same way Tim could as well.
Right, and I work, and trust me, Lisa and I work together on a lot of this stuff. And I know last year we did an inspection, both of us.
Yes.
Went to specific properties to make sure everything was correct, make sure the permitting was correct, make sure that the valuations were correct and everything was being picked up. And, and so, but I want to tell you though, sometimes you're going to see something that's going to be, if you're going to, I'll tell you right now, as a rule of thumb in Dickinson County, anything less than 100 square feet does not require a building permit. Now, these guys may pick it up, but I'm just saying it does not require a building permit from me. And so, because a lot of times that's like a pergola or something like that somebody puts up, or even a little chicken coop or something. That's not going to be picked up by me as far as a permit. And if there's something that's going on with the roads, people are going in and out of, please don't call me, call the township.
Well, I did that comment because periodically when I was a school nurse, I had
Great.
to do
He's the zoning guy.
absolutely to help some things out. And it was shocking to me. First of all, it was shocking to me that the pictures you see of the homes are not the Amish pictures you see up in Indiana with the white, and the trailer houses that I saw and the ruts from driving a horse. I was amazed but they bought a lot of ground up there.
But Lisa and I, speaking of the inspection that we did, the one inspection we did of the house is really, the inside was
Yeah.
gorgeous.
It is.
It's big, sprawling, beautiful walls and everything. It's a very solid house. It's just that it's no toilet, no.
And I was meaning that respectfully.
No, I know.
It's just
No. I just was shocked that there are so many
And
trailer
just to,
houses
and to
back.
touch on some other stuff, if they want to build an outhouse, that's a permit. You can't
Right.
dig a hole in the ground and so that's not going on. This thing, we're not running it like 1850.
The permit, we would not pick up that amount in value. Okay.
Yeah. They went through environmental service.
Yep. So all that, what I'm trying to say is the zoning and permitting, I do believe we're doing it correctly. Now, if they build something, we don't know about it for a year, that's gonna happen, guy. No, Lisa's only got so many people and Tim's one guy.
I was just saying, the comment, yes, it is every 3 years, and it knows, so like the last year that we had it, so this year, it actually marks what has changed, whether it's been removed, added, whatever.
100 or so.
We try to definitely, like I say, in an area that we know is popular of growing, we make more trips out that way too. Just to kind of visually see it as well. Again, we'll take like a snippet of the aerial photography with us, so we can say, okay, that's already there, that's not, yada, yada, and go from there.
And if you see something like, you know,
Right through the.
and you file, like, let's say, you say there's something going on, you can investigate. Please be patient with us because we have a process that's created by the state of Kansas that says that, you know, so if it doesn't get resolved right away,
And she was trying to think.
because on my end, I have to go through, we don't have, you know, we have to go through the district court on things.
She's also kind of personal.
So I have to be
That's
fair with everybody. I have to give them a certain amount of time to resolve that issue. If that isn't resolved, then it's up to the district court.
safety.
And usually that can take a while to get resolved. It's taken, there was a case when I first started here that they were working on for 3 years to get cleaned up. Bear with us.
With all that said, I'm not telling you not to call us with your concerns, not what I'm saying. I just wanted to address what I'm hearing, so.
I don't know, here.
We were out all year round.
Yes.
Following up on sales and other things. Usually in summer, we're doing maintenance, and so we're out. Actually, the state requires us every 6 years.
So 65%.
To visit every property in the county, every park in the county, at least once every 6 years. So we're out in summer times in that area. And
For sure.
year round, doing sales all over. So we're out all year round.
Like I said, we work together.
And let's say we'll drive by and say, hey, that looks new, it's a permit for that.
Yes.
I like it, comes to the driveways.
Yes.
For the highway department, we'll tell them if it's something
Yes.
new or anybody that's out and about too, so.
And sometimes
Yeah,
we'll
we
messages.
have more.
Yeah, we're about to.
These things are good. You know, and it's very helpful. I mean, it is very
Yeah.
appreciated.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We got to move on to the next topic, but we addressed it. Thank you. No, you did great. We appreciate it. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The billboard, I don't think it's gonna take very long. Do you want to talk about this?
Certainly can.
Imagine that's why you're here.
No, I know he's here for this.
So for the other one.
Yeah.
Let's briefly, we got a letter. I think this is gonna have a mixed opinion or review upon this letter, but Annelle sent us a letter, asking, as of this date of this letter, Hope Ridge Wind Project LLC respectfully requests the Board of County Commissioners take a necessary action to revoke CUP 24-06 as originally approved in Resolution 121224. In other words, we are going to consider rescinding the vote of the Hope Ridge Wind Tower Project, CUP.
But not today.
Not
We're
today.
getting information from our legal.
We're getting exactly. We're gonna make sure we're gonna do this right. But that is the letter we got today. I thought I would inform the public. I know that that's been a topic.
So it's dated March 30th, but this is the first meeting since
Correct.
we, as directed to Janelle on representing the county as administrator, so.
So what's the difference between the two resolutions?
So the resolution that Aaron is drafting would be to rescind or revoke the resolution 12-12-24. So which is
We're gonna have a
the CUP.
Okay.
Formal resolution to rescind.
Okay.
That copy was just given to you so you can see what it is that
Now,
would be changing with the resolution coming up. Yeah, I don't have the new one yet. Aaron
Okay.
is working on that. But the plan is to have it on the agenda next week.
Questions? I thought that one was gonna be a lot longer than this. All right. Perfect. Tim, you wanna go ahead and come on up?
Hamilton Planning and Zoning. This is kind of I'm kind of excited about this because I've been working with the Heritage Center on this for a couple of years. They've been, kind of came to me a couple of years ago and wanted to start the process on this and so finally get that done. It's a billboard, 200 square foot, and it's going to be basically on K-15, just north of Hope by about a mile. And it's going to basically advertise different things related to the community. So the carousel and different attractions, also the Heritage Center as well. And so I think this is, and the only thing that, only reason really a lot of these types of signs come to before you as a conditional use permit is because oftentimes they're on highways that are regulated by the state, and the state, Kansas, KDOT has a permitting process that they won't issue a permit until the local authorities issue a permit. So that's kind of where this comes from. So I'm recommending approval, and the planning commission is recommending approval as long as they provide proof of consent prior to a building permit being issued.
Am I hearing you're waiting for the state's got to final approve it?
Yeah, they've got to, they're waiting on our approval, that they will give us a letter saying that they have approved it, and then that way I will issue the building permit.
But they've had conversations
But
with
they've
them
been-
to make sure.
Okay,
They've been making sure that everything's.
Straightforward digital sign, I assume, say carousel.
No.
It's like a digital sign.
No, it will be a little sign, but
It's
it's
a
not.
big sign, that's why I'm asking. Okay, it's just gonna be a normal banner. Okay.
Yeah, the lighting is gonna be positioned in such a way it will not interfere with any of these.
That's why I was asking. I thought you said carousel. I'm like, asking.
No.
Oh, no.
My digital sign, man. Even
Carousel.
have the money to build that.
Drive down there just to see the sign.
Oh, my goodness. You could do an outdoor theater on that thing. Okay, that makes more sense to me.
So-
Advertise.
So once these signs are approved, then it's just up to the individual that owns that property or that sign for maintenance and
Yeah,
checks, whatever goes on there.
yeah, it's part of a lease agreement. It's sort of like what they do with cell towers.
So it'd be there 15 years from now or 20. And
Yeah.
This just gives approval for location.
Yeah.
We lease one on one of our properties. It's 2-3 year leases or something. Usually they give it to, I don't know, they're probably gonna own it themselves, but.
Right. And this is no different than, I think they've got a similar one. I forget where it's located, but there's a similar one at the Heritage Center is
I think it's on I-70, isn't it?
70.
They've got a stone
That's
sign north of town.
On 72, right?
They
in front
probably.
of Junction.
But
Or
it's,
maybe that's Abilene, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it is that one.
so this is similar, and I told them, I told the planning commission, I said, this is good because it's visible now to people in parts of the county that may not be aware of like some of the attractions that are in this part of the county, so.
Okay. Questions, commissioners? Pretty straightforward to me. I mean, I don't have any reason to, and staff recommends approval, so, okay. Okay, well, thank you, Tim. I know what APCO is. We've talked about it. Do you guys want to go over APCO again? Essentially what that bid would be for is the digital, what are they called?
The computerized EMD.
There you go, EMD service. Get them out of the Rolodex era.
Yep.
Get them into the 21st century.
Yeah.
It won't be this much every year, but the initial
No.
year startup, it's a little.
Initial year.
And after that, it's quite a bit cheaper.
Annually 300.
Yeah.
300 annually.
And then another annual cost on the backside from Tyler Technologies, because we'll have to do an interface
Yeah.
and then the installation, so
So the 1240, right?
1240.
What's the total bid? This is the total bid right here.
So the total bid for the, make sure I get it, the 300 is in there already. So it's gonna be the 21,162.78 to APCO.
Mhm.
And then the Tyler interface is going to be the 1,240.
1,240.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not gonna make any math. I'm just gonna mention to accept the bid from APCO and Tyler Technologies.
Okay.
That should cover us. We don't have much less to discuss and study, guys, unless you guys have any further discussion. I propose we move to recess until normal meeting at 11 a.m.
Second that.
No, we don't vote.
Yeah, we'll vote if you want to anyway. No, we can't vote second. We can't vote second.
They found a VP to be president next year or in
So-
2 years, whatever,
So what they're gonna do is rotate, you know how they used to rotate the meetings?
locations.
They're gonna rotate the vice president position by county. So since Martin is president this year, Dickinson County, then Ellsworth County will be the vice president.
Mhm.
And then they'll move up and whoever's following that, Geary County will be the vice president the following year. So Ellsworth wasn't, they had already left, so Hannah was gonna reach out to them. And then Marcus is going to be on their finance committee to work alongside Hannah and make sure.
Because last time, of course, that was on a different, it might have been on that meeting.
It was the meeting, I think, that you were
And it was
elected.
going to go to Ellsworth,
Uh-huh.
and they said, you know, we don't want to take the meeting and we don't,
And
we've got
that's-
too much on our plate.
And that's how they ended up with it being at Saline County, which makes sense.
Well, that started the discussion, because then the next time it was at McPherson.
Right, that's right, right,
But they passed it on to the next person.
right. So I think this will work in the long run. I
Yeah.
do, so.
Well, that way it keeps the rotation in place too.
Exactly. And nobody volunteered to take Martin's place, so
That's not a, and it's not surprising, is it?
Well, as long as Hannah's doing all the
she's doing everything.
preparation work, they had barbecue. Other than I talked to some of the guys that were at our township meeting for booths were at this. And then Washington County had a township meeting Tuesday night or something. So, you know, the guy from Hutchinson, I don't know if he went back home or it doesn't matter on any of them.
We were barbecued out.
Yeah, had barbecue, yeah. A few times in a row. Of course, that's sure handy. It's good.
But overall, I thought it was a good meeting, some good information, definitely.
Good morning. I believe I have the pleasure of knowing your name, sir.
What?
I don't know who you are. I was asking who you were.
I'm Larry Sorensen. I'm chairman of the board at the Heritage Center.
Okay. Good to meet you. Kenny Rollison. I don't think we've
Kind of
met.
in that vicinity down there.
I was gonna say, I don't think I've met you before. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I'm a big, live in a suburb of Elmo.
It's a suburb of Elmo, huh?
You still have those tractors, those old ones, and
Yeah, yeah. Those tractors.
what year?
All from 37 to 70.
Yeah. There's some pretty nice tractors.
Got any late power shift 4020s in there?
Anyway,
Any late power shift 4020s?
mostly I've got mostly 1947 John Deere.
Okay.
I'm trying to collect all that, each one for that year.
I got a nice A I restored a while back. It's got ironclad wheels on it.
A few extras.
I got an A with, still got the steel wheels on it still. John Deere A,
No,
tractor A, you know what I mean?
I'm looking for a good A and I'm looking for a G.
I'm not selling my A, but I got one. I'll send you pictures. But I got the original steel shoes on.
Oh, really?
I do.
Having a Tractor show.
Hard to find.
250 celebration down at Heritage. Saturday, 25th of April.
Okay.
Cool.
Have a tractor show that day, and then on Friday, I'm just having a tractor display down by our toy building.
This Friday?
No, the 24th.
24.
The 24th will be an exhibit, the 25th will actually.
I'm a tractor guy. I'll be there. 24. When's that? What day? What time?
I think we start at 10 o'clock in the morning that day.
How long will you run?
You run until 4?
Yeah,
All right.
4 o'clock.
4 or 5, whatever.
Where's that at?
The Heritage Center.
Okay.
That's behind Dice Harrison.
Yep. I know where you're at.
These tractors have been look brand new. They're almost brand new looking. They are brand new looking.
Yeah. We got a nice display of tractors in the ag building too now.
We'll take a look.
Oldest one's from 1915, Fighter.
Cool.
So one time, someone went by and dumped a bunch of trash close to his place. And he called about it, and I talked to Brad and they went out there and they looked at the bags. Of course, they had return addresses and letters of, they knew exactly who did it. And so with the county, they got on them and said, you guys get out there.
We haven't had no more problem like that.
Good.
Yeah, they cleaned that up real fast that day.
But I was glad you didn't, it wasn't yours to clean up, but I'm glad you didn't do it just to clean it up.
At least one time we had stuff up underneath the bridge.
People just like trash on it, right?
Well, it gets windy. I don't think it's anybody's fault. It just blows around.
Carol's not on.
Yeah.
But everybody else is.
Okay. Oh, they're still there.
Heather,
Okay.
yeah, Ashley,
Good
Gail, Heather, Jasmine, Leanne, and Archie.
Store any combines, any old combines? I don't see a whole lot of people doing them.
Take up too much room.
They do.
Yeah, we got one down at Heritage Center, we got one combine that's a 55 John Deere.
I was thinking about it, the old 850 Massey, 750 Massey. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
they might go away. I've never seen one refurbished, you know what I mean?
No, but there's a lot of them out there.
It might slink away into history.
Yeah, put 100 or 300 builders or something, we'd be great
But
figure.
the old Gleaner combines, you remember them, the old R52s, the
It'd be
N2s?
nice to have display old stuff,
It would.
And we have a lot of old horse-drawn stuff, single row from the top of the barn. We have a lot of that stuff.
Sure.
Also.
Is the toy collection still up front?
Well, when we had our fire, we lost like 60% of that. So we had some of the original, like the Power Shift model when it came out for the 4020, with the original model of it, and the 4320 front wheel assist Power Shift, which is like my dream tractor, but yeah. But I'm an IH guy, believe it or not. I like Golden Boy IHs. Is what I like. 826 Golden Boys. Most beautiful tractor.
Surely you've run into a couple of those.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
We sold it.
Oh,
Probably the
okay.
biggest. I was pretty mad about that one.
Oh.
Dad sold it. It was his tractor, but it
Oh, well.
is what it is.
Well, it's interesting you mention that fire. So my third to last day in high school there at Allen Machine, of course, I was a weed eater boy at that time. This was us cleaning out that front office and trying to get all the tractors put into bags and containers and cases.
Yeah.
and things like that.
Shoot, you probably worked with me then back then.
Probably.
I was in the yard.
Easier.
I was young.
Was it Inky, I think is what they called it?
Yeah, Pinky?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pinky, gosh, I hadn't thought about him in a long time. I think.
Gotcha.
John Bear?
Yep.
Yeah.
Didn't know you had all these connections here,
Yeah. My life for a little bit.
huh? Yeah.
Good job. You learn a lot of new words.
Bilingual?
Yeah.
Yeah, blue
You
machine.
don't know what they are.
Have that effect on you out there on the yard, can it? Well, back then, it's 110-degree heat. We didn't have heat schedules yet.
No,
It was a different world back then, man.
Heat schedules may not have made a much of a difference if you had to get the work done too.
Well, we do it now.
Yeah.
Show up at,
Yeah.
5 in the morning. It's too hot.
Yeah.
Just laughing about it. I remember back then we came out with our new health policy. You had to carry a jug of water around here, and that was like a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
Man, things have changed.
Nothing to add to the agenda. This will go with the Rolodex someday.
I do the same though. I still write it. No.
Sometimes it's easier to go back, find some stuff in this way back.
I don't know why I do it. I think it's because I remember it better when I write it. And I don't ever go read it.
They used to tell us, actually, they used to tell us that in school, when you take notes, your retention level
Yeah.
increase significantly.
Usually it's to-dos.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
After the meeting.
Dirks.
Call this meeting to order. Could all rise for a flag salute? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Moving to approval of agenda. Today we have two items. We have the consider a purchase of the APCO and Telecom computerized card set, as well as a CUP 26-2 for offsite advertising billboard 1 mile north of Elmo on K-15. Do I hear a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Consent agenda for today. Minutes are provided on March 26th for last meeting. Accounts payable of $550,120.44. Indigent defense of $11,600. SD security of $4,860. Utilities of $17,423.14. Health insurance of $182.85. And hand checks for $45.86. Do I hear a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Seconded?
I'll second it.
Ron seconded that.
Sorry.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Consent agenda. Commissioner comments, and committee reports. Lynn, do you want to kick it off this week?
So I know that you others were there too, but I attended the township meeting and I thought it went pretty well. I had someone tell me that it was informational wise, they thought they really had stepped it up well. And of course we provide a meal, but they're there for 3 or 4 hours. So that always kind of helps with the turnout, I think, plus some good food. And also there's a highway meeting over at Salina, and probably will come up for some future discussions. I mean, it's interesting to see what KDOT's doing and some of the projects, and, you know, probably one of the closer ones, well, we've got some work on the interstate, but over at, they're at that K-State exit or Junction City or so, they're going to try to handle some of that traffic, but I can't imagine that's going to take
No.
a year or so. I mean, or longer. I mean, it's a pretty major project, so it's going to solve the situation, but it's going to continue to create congestion for quite a while. And then probably the other thing we need to be alert to, there's a lot of signage regulations, and probably Janelle will bring some of that to us at some point, which are for safety and helpful information. But when you start thinking about if you have to replace signs or start getting a different type of sign, there's quite a bit of expense to that because there's a lot of signs in the county. So, but anyway, that's all I have.
Thank you, Lynn. Ron?
I did spend a little time Tuesday at the Juvenile Detention Center, and things are going fine there. Thankful we're getting a little bit of moisture, or trying to get a little bit of moisture, and hopefully we'll get some out of this. So that's all I have.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ron.
Yeah.
I'll kind of ditto what Lynn said. We attended the township meeting night. I thought we had some good discussion come out of that. Perhaps we might even look into maybe some ordinances to help them a little bit, enforce some of the rules. I'll just say this as a public comment. If you're going down a no maintenance road when it just rained, you're tearing the road up, that is a crime. You're damaging property. Don't do it. That's what I'm gonna say. And we're gonna look into some ways to help give our township some teeth to stop it. Another message I'd like to put out there, we do accept payments for your property taxes on your personal property taxes over online. So you can actually go online, register, and pay your personal property taxes there. I encourage the public to do that. That allows us to have a little more room here in the treasurer's office. So something I just wanted to put out there as a message to the public. Try to utilize the online services as much as you can. That helps and saves us money, which inevitably will help and save you guys hopefully some tax money. So I believe that's all I got today. So thank you guys. No presentation or petitions or proclamations. We'll move to a brief period for public comment. If County Administrator Janelle Dockendorf will read the rules, please.
For the Open Meetings Act, KSA 75-4317 and 75-4318A, as the elected board, the county commission is not allowed to meet or make any decisions without posting the meeting. They are only allowed to act on items on the agenda which they set. During the regular meeting, the county commission may allow for public comments on items not listed on the approved agenda. It is at the discretion of the county commission if they allow comments on agenda items. If you wish to provide comments, please come forward to the podium and state your name and address. If you are online, raise your hand and we will unmute you. Please state your name and address. Each person may speak for 3 minutes. The allotted time will start after the speaker has given his or her name and address. Public comments shall be addressed to the county commission only and not to the speaker or the audience. Only the county commission will be permitted to ask the speaker questions. The public comment period is not a back and forth discussion with the county commission. You should make your views and input known to them, but it is not a time to ask them questions. You should not expect them to respond to your comments. Comments may express support or agreement with the previous speakers, but in the interest of time, please do not repeat the same information. You may state something to the effect of your name and address and you agree with the previous speaker. It is important to maintain a respectful, non-threatening atmosphere for anyone who would like to speak. Please do not engage in such actions as cheering, booing, clapping, insults, threats, etc.
Thank you. Well, a brief moment for anybody to make a comment. Do not believe we have any comments today. Okay, going ahead and moving down to reports from county officers, going back to County Administrator Janelle Dockendorf.
Commissioners, as you mentioned, the annual township meeting was Monday afternoon into the evening, and we had 19 of the 24 townships present throughout the evening. So I thought that was great. And like you said, we had very good conversation, and they had good conversation amongst each other. So I appreciate them all attending, and I also appreciate the vendors that attended the meeting as well. And I hope that everybody took the opportunity to talk with them. And you also mentioned the North Central Kansas County Highway Association spring meeting. Very good comments again, projects that are going on that KDOT is working on. Had good conversation with our district reps for KDOT, and we'll plan some meetings in Topeka with them as well. We do have some work that will be coming up in the southern part of the county on Highway 4 at some point. I'm not sure when those projects will be let, but we'll try to keep you apprised of that. And Martin Tannehill was elected president, and then Marcus Rothschild has been appointed to the finance committee. So good news. Good news for us and our staff. So to be recognized like that. Lynn held that position before, so it's hard work. Yeah. We do have an open positions in dispatch and one in the appraiser's office. So, and that person, the appraiser's office, has moved to the IT department. So we're retaining a good employee and filling an open position that we had in IT. The Public Works Emergency Management EMS Director attended the Eisenhower Marathon meeting, and I'll get some updates on that because that's coming up. Public Works is spraying for noxious weed, although not today because of the rain. Emergency Manager conducted a CERT exercise for the Abilene High School class, and it was very well attended and very well received. Just as a reminder, and if people don't know this, they should, the bridge at 1160 1100 Avenue is closed for replacement, and that's 120 working days, so it's progressing. And the RTUs have already been replaced at Straw Hall, which is good. So do you have any questions for me?
I might mention, I had someone comment on the Eisenhower Marathon, how many people that brings to Dickinson County. And so even an overnight lodging and so on, they were sold out. So good to have those events.
Is there discussion there? What do they figure out?
So the discussion is just, set up time. They'll review the route, which the route really doesn't change. And then where the staging area will be for EMS, when Martin will be putting the phones out.
So are they going to provide their own That's what I'm asking. After this year, they,
It's entirely up to you if you want to continue to support that with the highway department being set up in the tear down and that, so.
essentially, we said we were no longer going to provide road safety after this year.
Right, because it is on a state highway. So
Sounds like we have some
you
discussion.
need to have a discussion on that if you want to continue that on. And Lorelei was in and made the request earlier. It was at the end of the year. God bless. And so the decision was to continue for this year, but
The one little piece on that I've heard is that it's a Boston qualifying event. And so like there's certain things on the route has to be established. It cannot cross railroad tracks, for example. I mean, various things like that are have kind of put specific guidelines for it. So
it is a big community event.
I don't want to lose it. I guess that's my perspective. So if we need to have some discussion of how to keep it, I think we need to do that now before.
probably after the event, it'd be good to meet.
Yeah, I guess so.
Review.
I'll find out if she's gonna have it after.
And what challenges.
I know I would like to keep it if we can. I guess that's where I'm going.
Yeah.
I think the biggest question is, are we going to pull the support that the county provides with the Public Works Department?
Okay. Okay. That will conclude your report.
Okay.
County Councilor's not here today. He will have a report usually at the beginning of the month. I'm sorry,
Second Thursday.
second Thursday of the month. So
We'll be here next week.
he'll be here next week. Notices and communications. Any today?
I do not have any, just again, we are still doing homestead up until April 15th.
Did you want to read the letter that you received in your office?
No, I don't have it.
Here, I'll read it for you.
We just gotta,
You want me to read it or you want to read it?
you can read it. It was supposed to be meant for the commissioners to read it.
Which one?
She had a letter.
It's closed. And it's not in here, so. No. It's not in there.
Somewhere.
No, I didn't think it was in there.
Okay, no, it's involved.
Well, I wish I could read it. Yeah, there.
That's it right there.
Yeah, there you go. You want me to do it or you want to do it?
You can go.
We got a letter in the mail, obviously. Here's how it reads. I am treasurer of the New Bern number 23 cemetery. For some reason, I had problems with income and expenditure forms for 2025. I came to your office in February to seek assistance from Jasmine Stahl. Helped me to get things straightened out. She patiently went through my records and got everything straightened out. She was professional, courteous, sharp as a tack, and very helpful. I just wanted to commend her and hope the rest of your staff are as astute as her, and I'm sure they are. Thank you, Jennifer, for leading a well-run department. I think that extends to you as well. So, congratulations. Just thought it was a nice little bit of good news, a little change of pace. All righty, I'm going to go ahead and move down to the consideration of purchase of the APCO and Telecom computerized card set. We heard about this in last week's study session. I'm going to briefly summarize it in the words that I have. We are using a Rolodex right now when it comes to codes and what the dispatch needs to relay to our emergency responders and law enforcement officers. This would computerize that process and get us out of the 20th century, I guess is the way I look at it. So.
And it was kind of cumbersome, and I mean, there can be 1,000 situations they run into, and so they literally would go right to that situation on questions and information and the key information and so on. But this puts us up to a high level, and so and that other's been in place for decades.
Yes.
It's almost historic museum quality.
It is.
We kind of said what we have out here for the little old time jail display kind of qualify for something of that sort.
Still relevant, but the usage is.
Kind of a reminder of the good old days.
Exactly, yeah.
So there's an upfront cost associated. The cost on the proposal here would be $22,402.78. After that, I believe it's only about a $1,200 fee a year to continue operating the software. So upfront cost is going to go away after year one, essentially.
And that will come out of the 911 fund.
Yep. Thank you, Chief. Any discussion?
Well, I think I'd like to have a little discussion with that. Those cards been here for a long time and they don't always include everything on those cards, especially under ventilation situation where they need to ventilate. I just want them to recognize and know, and I'm sure they do, always see if the person's not sleeping before you proceed to ventilate, because they could just be sleeping.
Right.
So you want to make sure they're awake.
Right.
Other than that, I'm good with it.
Well, back then they had a hat pin they'd pull out.
We'll let Amber know.
Yes, yes, definitely.
We'll let Amber know that. Okay. Do I have a motion to approve or deny EPCO? Either way? I would
I
say.
so
approve.
move that
I'd
we
say
approve the purchase of the APCO in telecom computerized card set.
I'll second it.
That amount will be $22,402.78 for the record. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. So approved. Thank you. Do you need a signature on this?
If you want to go ahead and sign that, and then I'll make sure she has a copy of that. Thank you.
All right. Next order of business is CUP 26-2, offsite advertising billboard 1 mile north of Elmo on K-15. Looks like Tim would like to introduce this one. Go ahead, Tim.
Right. Tim Hamilton, Planning and Zoning. This is a request that we haven't had in a long time, a request for billboard placement on K-15, on the east side of K-15, at the request of the Dickinson County Historical Society. And I've been working with Austin now for a couple of years on this, and we finally get it done, and it's going to be basically advertising different things like the carousel. It won't be a carousel. It's going to advertise the carousel. Or some other events, and bring attention to the Historical Society also. Both the Planning Commission and staff believe that this is going to be extremely economically beneficial for the county. And it's, more eyes to see what's available or what's things are things to do in the county. It's the better off, I think, that the county overall will be on this. So this is similar to another sign that was put up in town. And so basically the only condition that's been placed on this is once they get approval from KDOT for the location, they can provide me some sort of written communication with them confirming that they give consent, and then I will issue the building permit.
Pretty straightforward permit for a sign. So the building, hopefully there's much more regulation. So any discussion, commissioners? Or questions for Tim? As you guys see there, staff would recommend approval, as Tim also indicated, on the request of any conditions as listed above. On the condition, they get a permit from the state. They turn that in. I know they got written, so we're good to approve the C.
If they're good with that location, then I'll issue the permit.
I'll go ahead and make the motion that we give this CUP 26-2 for the offsite advertising billboard located approximate 1 mile north of Elmo on Highway K-15, and for the information we've received.
So moved. Second?
I'll second it.
Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. I have that signed CUP over here if you guys want a copy of that. Yeah.
Right.
I'll be right back.
I was just saying, before we conclude, any other business for discussion today, commissioners?
So the part regarding the land bank, is that for
It'll be on.
future agenda?
Yes, yes. I just wanted to get in front of you during the study session for discussion, get direction from you if you want to move forward with that or not. But the next step would be that I would fill out the form, send it to the interim city manager, then it'll go before the Harrington Land Bank Board. And if they decide to accept it, then that triggers the resolution needed to declare it a surplus property.
Yeah, who's the interim city manager in Harrington?
Megan Lorenz, the city clerk.
Okay.
And this actually kind of would clean up a property or take care of something that we do not utilize and have no current use or future use for.
Right. Right, a piece of property the county owns that we have to maintain.
And so it would help kind of facilitate whatever their need is.
Well, is this that piece of property that has like a stream running through it?
Right
Around it?
side of, yes, exactly.
Would that be a good place that we could store some more chemicals around that area?
Well, probably not.
Not a good place for something like that. Just kidding, everybody.
Probably not, so.
Be aware that.
I happen to know their code enforcement, who's the fire chief, and I think he would really not.
Okay.
Let's try it. A headline there.
Trying to help everybody. Understand.
No, it's a good question though. So in other words, what you're telling us is we would need their approval before we could vote on this.
Yes, because if they would accept it, if they're not gonna accept it, what's the point? You would,
So we need to wait on that before we add it to agenda. Okay. And then, we'll do this in agenda review. We don't need to do that. Unless you guys do want to talk about next agenda right now, we can, but usually we do that through email.
Will be published.
right.
Okay. With that being said, no further business today. I would motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
I know, I want to go look at it. Yeah, your meeting is Monday.
Uh-huh.
I had